Oh, hell no.
Are you really serious? You see how people
What
live?
would y'all do if... Oh,
I'm thinking
my
these people
God.
clean. Look at this. I'm never written to black people ever again. I know some of y'all black watching this, I'm sorry, but man, this really got me over here heated right now.
I know a lot of white people who live like that, too.
Condition.
The way that these tenants turned my unit into a crack house is crazy.
If you're not careful as a landlord, you can end up like these homeowners, stuck with trash properties and repair bills in the tens of thousands.
Y'all, look how nasty these people left his Airbnb.
This, man. Why this tenant that messed up my house? I got bugs all on the door. Man, these people are so disrespectful. This is why you never let just random black people live in your house. Look at this, man. Look what they did to my ceiling, man. These people are disgusting.
I think we did to your ceiling, though.
Look at this. They got backwoods everywhere. It's doo-doo in the toilet. I don't even want to show y'all this. It's so disgusting, man. Oh, my gosh. It stinks. I'm about to slip. Look at this, y'all. This is crazy. Oh, my gosh. Look at this, y'all. This is super disrespectful. I only been gone for 5 months. They have not paid the rent. It's only been 5 months. Look at my sink. Look at this. What kind of people live like this? I knew I should have went through professionals. Look at my refrigerator, y'all. Everything about my house is messed up. Look at this. I got mold inside.
Airbnb. He probably rented it out by himself.
It's almost like they left the water on. It's super disgusting in here. Look at this, y'all. My garage is messed up. They left stuff in here.
Problem.
I cannot believe this.
So I'm going to assume that he had a no smoking indoors policy in his lease, and clearly they didn't abide by that. I really don't understand how people don't flush the toilet and how they just stuff the toilet with a bunch of stuff. If there was a plumbing issue, they should have reached out to him and let him know what was going on. Now, he says they haven't paid for 5 months. So this leads me to believe he may have waited too long to start the eviction process. Every state is different, and the length of time it takes to go through the eviction process is different in every state, but I'm really curious about when he got the ball rolling on that. And as he was walking through so far, we've seen that there's a lot of mold throughout the house. So what I'm wondering is if there was an existing plumbing issue he didn't know about, or if they just sabotaged the place. I'm really not sure. I'm curious to know what you think. Do you think there was a plumbing issue already? Do you think the mold and all that stuff is something that the tenants caused? I'm curious to hear your thoughts. So one thing that's very clear is that tenant screening is very important, and the landlord references are a huge part of that process. Now, if you have a property manager, of course, they'll take care of that and verifying all the information. However, if you're self-managing, those landlord references are super important as well. Sometimes people lie on their application. So one thing that you can do is if they say X, Y, and Z person is the landlord or the manager, you can go to the county tax records to see who the owner of the property is. Another way you can do that is, let's say they list a management company, you can call the management company to make sure, of course, that they actually do manage that property. Another way you can do it is to see if where they claim to live, if there are current rental listings, and you can see who posted it, right? So you might be able to track it down and figure out who the management company is, who the landlord is through that as well. And then, of course, when you find the right person, there are a number of questions to ask, but a couple important ones are, did the person keep the place clean? Did they pay rent on time? Were they ever on the verge of eviction? Would they rent to them again? Things like that. So let me know in the comments, what would you do if a tenant left your house like this? And do you think there's anything this guy could have done better in the process? So I need you to brace yourself, because what he said in this next clip not only will shock you, but for some of you, it'll offend you.
I'm never written to black people ever again. I know some of y'all black watching this, I'm sorry, but man, this really got me over here heated right now.
I know a lot of white people who live like that too.
Condition. What is going on with my house? And they called us literally about 4 months ago talking about can you paint the windows? I mean, the walls for us. We paint the wall. We thinking they some clean people the whole time. Look what they done did. Look at this. This is disgusting.
But even if they do have plumbing problems inside of that house,
like it was bombs.
The other stuff, like the backwoods and the dirty bed and all that, like that, there's no excuse.
The only thing that looked decent is the damn part where the bed was.
Ooh.
This is disrespectful. Never again, y'all. Look at this. It's just disgusting. And y'all don't even want to show y'all what's in here. This is disgusting. Everywhere in this house. Backwood blunts everywhere.
So I'll be the first to say I understand his frustration, but the reason this happened is not because the tenants are black. It's because they're bad tenants with no regard for someone else's property. And these kind of people can be found in all type of backgrounds and groups. Now, what really shocked me here is the fact that the mattress was so disgusting. I don't know how a mattress gets like that, and I don't even want to try to imagine how a mattress could get like that. Now, that space, that square where the bed was really shows how dirty they got that carpet. That was crazy. I personally don't understand how people can live that way. I'm sure you can't understand it either. Maybe you have different opinions about that. Clearly, they didn't take their shoes off. Let me know in the comments if you are a shoes off household or not. I'm definitely a shoes off household because that is nasty. Now, he mentioned having to chase them down for his money. I'm wondering what system he had for them to pay the rent. I'm wondering if he had late fees. Honestly, it seems to me that maybe he gave them the benefit of the doubt and maybe he was too lenient. And in addition to them just being terrible tenants, they took advantage of them. Now, if you're self-managing a property, I understand you wanting to be a nice person and have empathy for people's situations, but you have to do your best to be firm and stick to the lease. Do not let people take advantage of you. Also, personally, I do my best to stay away from carpet 100% in my properties because carpet can be an absolute headache to clean and take care of. If they want something on the floor, they can put rugs down. And personally, I think that's a better option. So if you're eating something, I'm going to ask you very politely to put it down because the way these tenants left this guy's bathroom is absolutely unbelievable.
This was the room they asked us to paint. When they first came in here, the walls already look trash. They said, can y'all paint these walls? I don't like it. So I'm thinking that these people are neat. Look at this. And they gonna dirty it right back up, leaving all this stuff. Like, what was they doing? This makes zero sense. Every single room, only got one room that looks nice. The only room is this room right here. They must have never, and even that is just crazy. I only made probably like 1,000, paid me in 2 months. Look at this, man. Look at this, y'all. Look at this damn toilet, man. Are you serious?
Oh, hell no.
Are you really serious? You see how people live?
What would y'all do if, oh
I'm
my
thinking these
God.
people clean. Look at this. Never in my life ever again. I'm only doing Airbnbs from now on. This do not make no sense at all.
Where you can be compensated
I
for
can't
these
trust nobody.
troubles. Y'all, what would you do
Look
if
at
this
my
happened to
house.
you? What would
Look
you
at
do?
this. And they didn't say nothing.
So he mentioned that they asked him to paint, which leads me to believe that the home may not have been in move-in ready condition when they moved into the property. So things like painting and repairs and just generally making sure that the property is in good condition is something that you want to make sure takes place before someone moves in because that sets the tone in a lot of ways. So maybe they thought, oh, well, this guy gave us this house and it's not fully ready to go, but here we are and maybe we don't need to respect his house. Now, of course, you shouldn't think of it in that way as a tenant, but what I'm saying is maybe that's the impression they had. Maybe they thought they can get over on him and things of that nature. I'm just trying to make up and think of anything I could possibly think of to try to understand where they're coming from in terms of trashing his house, and I just can't figure it out. I recommend doing walkthroughs several times a year, or if you have a property manager, making sure they do walkthroughs. Typically, they do it at least once a year, but even if you need to pay them extra and you can get another one in through the duration of the lease, I think it'll help just to make sure that the property is in good condition and they're doing what they need to do, they're taking care of it, and ultimately that everything is working properly. Now, the way they left that toilet was 100% retaliation. I have no doubt about that. Overall, I do feel bad for this guy. I'm hoping that he learns from it and that the next time will be a better experience. Maybe he'll get a property manager that'll look after it a little bit more, or maybe he'll do it himself and just be a lot more proactive and present at the property. Now, if you don't believe that some tenants retaliate when they're evicted, or if you think it's very rare, I need you to pay attention to this next clip.
So I ended up evicting them after 3 months of not paying. And this is the mayhem that I walked into. And just look at this, the trash, the holes, the blinds, just amazing on how they just left this unit this way. And how much it's going to cost me to actually clean up this mess. So this is the living room. And then as I pan around, this is the trash that was left in the living room that I have to pay for them to haul away. Then going into the kitchen, just more trash, more things left, crazy. And going through here, it was so devastating to realize what they had done. And I think this is in retaliation because after the first 2 months of not being able to pay, I was not willing to wait a third.
So similar to the previous person, I am curious about what state she's in and how soon she initiated the eviction process, how long the process took, things of that nature. She definitely had these people in her house for a shorter period than the last guy because she mentioned after a couple months, she wasn't going to wait another month for her money. So one thing that people don't talk about a lot is you could have a model tenant. And when I say model tenant, I mean they are keeping the place clean. There's not really any complaints or anything like that. But when they stop paying and they eventually get evicted, sometimes people just flip a switch and they do this whole revenge thing and trash a place. Maybe that's what happened here. I'm not sure. And to be honest with you, if you look around, it wouldn't have taken them much effort to put all of their stuff inside of garbage bags because clearly they didn't want any of that stuff enough to take it with them to wherever they went. Me personally, I don't really understand how people aren't embarrassed to leave a place they're living in that kind of condition. To me, it just makes no sense at all. It should be very clear the condition that the property should be in when they move out, but obviously these folks didn't abide by that. If that wasn't the lease, they didn't care. Now, if you thought that was bad, it gets worse. But first, I need you to hit that subscribe button. If you want to get better at real estate investing, you have to follow this channel.
How can you destroy a toilet to look like this? The whole toilet has to be changed. Now, I've been going back and forth and I'm trying to see what the lawyers can do if after calculating the repairs, if I can go after them in small claims court to, get reimbursed for paying for these damages because this stuff was intentional. There was missing cabinet doors that ended up in one of the rooms. Just coloring on the doors. All doors have to be changed. Front door looked like it was kicked in. Just total chaos in how they left this house. And just look at it. Just look at it. There's no words for what they did. This looked like gang signs on the wall. There goes this missing cabinet from the kitchen.
So these people definitely hit this toilet with a hammer or something. I really don't understand why you would go out of your way to do that. Now, I'm hopeful that she can go after them in court, but even if she wins, the reality of it is there's no guarantee that she'll collect a penny from them. I'm 100% sure that the damages in the property far exceed whatever they paid for their security deposit. I personally would be speechless if I opened the door and saw what she saw. You let me know in the comments. If this was your property that you're reclaiming from a tenant, how would you feel if you walked through the property and saw what this lady saw? What I keep thinking about is how in the world do you rip a cabinet door off in the kitchen and just toss it in the room? Like they were trying to destroy this place as much as possible before they left. Now, if you are someone with compassion and a good heart, the next clip will show you why that might leave you with a destroyed house. Also, if you picked up what you were eating earlier when I said to please put it down, I'm really gonna need you to put it back down right now because this next clip is rough.
All right, trigger warning. This is how the refrigerator looked the day of their walkthrough. Due to the extent of the damage and how dirty it was, I told them they had until Wednesday to go back and clean out all the trash. I also called Orkin so they can find out what's going on. They came immediately the next day after their inspection, and so they found that they had built a hole through the garage, which you saw. You can see all the feces and rat urine that's dried up underneath the home in the crawl space. They bit through wiring. And I also will show pictures coming up about how they got to the installation of the AC unit, bit through that, peed and all, pooped all on it. And then inside the wall of the home where the tub is, you could see rat poop within the wall of the tub. It's about to show now. So it's going to cost, from Orkin, they quoted $5,000 to $6,000 to fix this.
Now, I don't understand how anyone could be comfortable eating any food out of a refrigerator as filthy as that. There was a rat infestation in the house that they were clearly comfortable with because they never reached out to her to let her know anything. And it seems to me that if she knew this was going on, she would have done what she needed to do, pay who she needed to pay to get rid of the problem. So let me tell you the backstory of that clip. So I watched a bunch of videos and clips about this. It's too much to go over today, but let me give you the backstory. So her mother told her that she should rent to this family. And the woman knew the family and has known the family for 15 plus years. And it was her mother's recommendation because they were living in a hotel at the time. I think it was like a family of 4. And she's like, you should rent to them. So the first mistake was not properly vetting these people. Now, she was also very transparent and said that she pretty much did not really visit the property and she spent some time living abroad, I believe in like Dubai or something like that. And she didn't really know what was going on because she pretty much never went. And she thought she could trust these people because she's known them for 15 plus years. Now, I'm not going to sit here and bash her because I can respect her transparency and she understands the mistakes that she made and she's planning to go through property management the next time she rents out this house. So I think she'll be okay in the end. But let me know in the comments, would you ever rent to friends or family, friends of the family? Would you ever rent to any people in that category? Let me know in the comments. Let me know as well if you prefer to self-manage or use a property manager. Personally, I think it's just based on your personality. I don't think there's a right or a wrong way. If you are someone who has a tough time being firm and a tough time holding boundaries, then you probably shouldn't be a property manager. You probably shouldn't manage your own property. There's nothing wrong with getting a competent property manager. Now, all the people today have been self-managers, and I have a feeling that many of them will end up just using a property manager so they don't have to deal with the headache and tenant selection and all that. And I totally understand that. And you can also try one or the other, right? You can try self-management, you don't like it, get a property manager, and vice versa. Nothing wrong with it. The thing I want you to keep in mind is that there's always a solution. There's always a way out of problems. And if you stay within real estate for long enough, you will win. Things will happen that you can't control, but if you keep going and you just learn from every experience, you'll be just fine. So much respect to these folks for sharing their stories online. There's a lot of valuable lessons that we can learn from their experience, and I'm sure things will be better for them the next time around. All right, so you always see me wearing these shirts in the videos, and if you didn't know, now you know, they are for sale. You can actually buy these shirts. To celebrate the growth of the channel, every single shirt is 50% off. You can get the shirts for $15 instead of 30. There's limited inventory, so I strongly encourage you to take advantage of the sale. So you can get one of these shirts or you can get one of these shirts, and there's no limit to the number of shirts you can get. I appreciate you all so much from the bottom of my heart. The growth of this channel would not be possible without you watching, without you liking, commenting, etc. And the shirts are good quality. It's 100% cotton. It's something that's going to last and not wear out over time like a lot of the fast fashion out here. So if that's something you're interested in supporting, go to the pinned comment of this video and you'll get the link. You can go directly to the store and you can get anything you want. So now that you know about the tenant nightmares that you should avoid, I want you to learn about the home buyer regrets that you should absolutely avoid. Check out this video right here.